Hello, everyone. It is Camille here, back again with another Astro-Bash speaker interview. Today, we are joined by Stan Posey. Stan, thank you so much for joining us. If you wouldn't mind just giving us a little bit of an introduction, and if you want to, you can throw your sun, moon, and rising in there.
Well, thank you very much, Camille. And you sent the questions ahead of time, and I've seen a few of these interviews, and I've really enjoyed them.
Hey.
And the first question was the sun, moon, and rising.
Yeah.
And then the next question actually had to do with coming to evolutionary astrology. And I really, when I started thinking of those two questions, something happened that brought them together. I would have first just answered the evolutionary astrology question with Stephen, coming to Stephen. But when I actually thought about my sun, moon, and rising, all of a sudden another memory opened up for me. So I have Leo rising. It's exactly opposite my sun, which is setting on the other side of the chart.
Nice.
And at the bottom, squaring both of those, I have a Scorpio moon. So Leo, Aquarius, and Scorpio. And that brought the memory to me of back when in 1989 and 90 in particular, when the ruler of my Scorpio moon, Pluto, I'm going to be an astro nerd here, when it was transiting my moon, it was, of course, banging on this whole T-square.
Yes.
And at that time, thank God for Jeffrey Wolf Green and his Pluto book, because that's what really helped me get through that. And I was so glad to have that memory come up. So that was my first introduction to evolutionary astrology. And I actually came across and got to see Stephen at UAC conference in New Orleans in 2012, right before the Venus eclipse of the sun, which just happened to be right on my south node. So again, bringing me into the fold of evolutionary astrology in my tribe, because at that talk, he was presenting on the three poisons, Mercury, Venus, and Mars, which was right up my alley. And, found out soon after that he was giving the AP program, and that fall in Southern California, that was the topic. So I jumped right in and never stopped until COVID, when the program kind of died. But it transformed, I know that. But since then, Uranus, the ruler of my sun, I'm going to be a total Aquarian nerd here, has been going through my 10th house, and it was opposite, banging the whole T-square again, but in the 10th house now. So during that time, a lot of that was during COVID. It's still up in my 10th house. Here I've been asked to present, and I'm going to present a very Aquarian topic. I'm going to be bringing something about the galactic center and initiation path associated with it, in my mind, which connects us with the true self. And so just to fill out this T-square, so you really know how Aquarian I am, I'm presenting on a piece about the galactic center.
Nice.
And when I present Jupiter, which happens to be the ruler of Sagittarius, where the galactic center is going to be exactly up there, hitting my T-square in the 10th house.
Look at that.
So it's like coming full circle in these
all
33
these triggers.
years.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy to be reconnecting with my tribe. I've missed the evolutionary astrology meetings. I look forward to being with everybody soon and really bringing out my Aquarian self, which that little Scorpio moon, a lot of them may not know me very well, actually.
Yeah. I totally agree, or am on the same wavelength as an Aquarius person who also has Leo, Taurus, and Scorpio placements just getting bombarded right now. So I can feel into that a lot. Well, explain a little bit about what you think the advantages are, or the gifts really, of evolutionary astrology, and why you chose, or how it spoke to you, basically.
Well, probably one of the few things I've studied longer and with great intent than evolutionary astrology is the work of Rudolf Steiner. And the thing about evolutionary astrology that attracts me so well is being able to go into the karmic story
Mm-hmm.
and digging that deep into it. Part of my pet peeve, which is another one of your questions, has to
Yes.
do with that, because here we're talking about soul, reincarnation, and karma, but to me, we still think too much in material terms, the physical. And so I'm using a lot of Dane Rudyard's work in a book I'm working on right now for this particular topic to make a bridge to Steiner's work, bring in a little more of what I think is a spiritual piece that can be really practical for evolutionary astrologers and others.
Yeah.
So that I was hoping to this is the second book I've been doing, and I was hoping to have it done in time for the conference. I don't know, but the piece I'm presenting is a small piece of this. So I am looking
Oh, so we
forward to
get a
that.
little sneak peek of what you've been working on. That's so
Right.
excellent. Congratulations on the endeavor of writing a book. I know that takes a
Yes,
lot of
it's a
effort and
challenge,
time.
but it's been a long time coming, this one. Yeah.
Yes, well, I can't wait until it comes out. Well, you briefly mentioned this before, and something I've touched on in some of the interviews is the importance of connecting in person. And
Mhm.
one of the things about Astro-Bash, after the years of COVID, is it's some people's first time being with people they admire or being with other astrologers in real life. I was curious if you can speak at all to the difference between online speaking or online conferences or lectures versus being there in the flesh.
Oh, to me, it makes all the difference in the world. Just connecting, like with the AP program and Stephen, I always felt like I was there getting a transmission. I mean, he's a master
Yeah.
astrologer. And I always felt like I was actually getting a transmission direct from the cosmos through him, however you want to think of that. And so
Mm-hmm.
to be around what I really do feel is a kindred tribe for me, this type of astrology is very important. It just makes my heart sing. And not being able to for these few years has been very hard.
Mm-hmm.
So I do look forward to that. And also the night sky piece I'm excited about, because I live in Tucson and the lights are bright enough here that I'm really looking forward to a nice dark sky.
Ooh, same here in DC. So not even a chance of a clear night sky over here. I've heard a lot of people reference the word tribe. So meeting up with people that feel like soul family. And that's also something
Right.
that I'm looking forward to at Astro-Bash. So I'm really glad that you spoke on that. And I think Maurice Fernandez said like learning through the skin, which is something that you touched
Yeah,
upon
that's a
in
good
terms of like,
description.
yeah,
Yeah.
the transmission, like an energy,
Mhm.
right? That can't be replicated online. Well, I know you already answered this about the astrological pet peeve or misconception that is
Yeah.
out there. Is there anything else that you may want to throw into that bucket before we close up here?
Well, maybe just a little bit. The old question of destiny versus free will and
Sure.
the spiritual perspective really brings that in for me, because as we're kind of folding into our bodies and our life body through the gestational period, we have lots of help with the spiritual hierarchies in doing that and folding our karma into our being,
Mhm.
which then unfolds after birth. So there is destiny. Yes, there is destiny. We're going to meet who we're going to meet, who we're destined to meet, when and where we're
Yeah.
destined to meet them. But there is also free will. We have the free will. What are we going to do in that moment? Am
Yes.
I going to embrace it and go through whatever is called for, or is it too much? Am I going to turn around and run and have to face it another way another time?
Yeah.
There's both. And I really think it's important that we embrace both aspects of that and see it.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Both and rather than being either or. That's really nice
Yeah,
perspective.
absolutely.
Well, Stan, I know you're working on a book, but let people know what else you have upcoming and where people can find you and get in touch with you.
The best place is probably my website, which is ERB as in boy, DOC, herbdoc without an H.com. And that
Excellent.
describes my practice as an acupuncturist and
Oh,
also astrologer.
nice. Do you ever weave acupuncture with
I do.
astrology?
That was my first book is on just that. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. I've never like heard of that intersection before. That's nice.
Yeah, I
Um,
love it.
yeah, well, thank you so much, Stan, for joining us here. For those of you who are watching, we have, even though we just boasted about how good in real life connection is. We have opened up a live streaming option in case you cannot make it. That's the second best option here. So you can go to www.astro-bash.com to both register for that or for the in-person event. And hopefully I will see you there, and I'll definitely see you there, Stan. Thank
I
you.
look so forward to it. Thank you, Camille.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.